So you went ahead and purchased the new iPhone SE 2020 edition. You want to make sure you get the most out of it. So here's some tips and tricks that you can use with your new iPhone SE. Let's get started. Alright, so we've got the iPhone SE 2020 edition here, and we're going to start things off by taking a quick look at the home button and mainly configuring the click intensity. So we're going to start by opening the settings application. We're going to scroll to where it says general, open that up, and then we're going to tap on home button. Now, this is where you will be able to configure the haptic feedback you feel when you click on the home button. Now, if you didn't know, this is not actually a clickable button. It's very similar to what you would use on a MacBook Pro, where you press on this and you're actually feeling a vibration under your finger and it feels like a click. With this setting here, you can configure how strong or how weak it's going to feel. So if you set it to 1 and give it a click, it's very, very weak. If you set it to 3, you're going to feel a pretty strong click when you press your finger down. Traditionally, I just leave it at 2. It works for me. But if you'd like a more or less intense click, configure it in these settings and tap done. Now, because the iPhone SE is actually a smaller phone, you're going to have a smaller battery. So you want to try to preserve the battery for longevity, but also get the most out of it. So once again, we'll open our settings application and we're going to scroll down to where it says battery. Now, there are some features here. First, at the top, the battery percentage. This is something that iPhone 11 and 11 Pro users do not have. You can see the percentage at the top. If you disable this, you won't see the percentage, but enabling it gives you that percentage back. This is a feature that a lot of people miss. So turn that on just so you can see where you're at. You also have the battery health options here. Now, battery health is great because it's going to allow you to see the maximum capacity of your battery. So this is a pretty new phone, so I'm at 100%. But to put that into context, my iPhone 11, which is less than a year old, is already at 94% capacity, which is still pretty good. I use the phone a lot. But if your phone gets down around the 90%, you're definitely going to see a dramatic change in how long the battery lasts before charging. So to help this last longer, make sure that optimized charging is enabled. This is going to allow the phone to sort of charge based on your habits. For example, if you charge your phone every night before bed and you unplug it every morning, let's say at 7 o'clock, the phone is going to charge up to 80% and then slowly ramp up the rest of the charging so that around 7 o'clock when you usually unplug it, you're at about that 100% marker, and this way it doesn't burn through the battery and leave it at 100% constantly with the charger throughout the night. So it's a good feature to have on. Make sure it's on. And lastly, always take a look at these options down here. Mine is pretty empty, but you'll be able to see what the phone is using and what percentage of battery each application you're using is using. You can see I have a few right here. If you notice that a specific application is just draining your battery for no reason, some older apps may do this, check the App Store, update your app, or delete it altogether, and that'll definitely help you, especially if you're having battery issues. Now, this tip is pretty big. I get this question a lot. I've even posted videos on it, and it's actually flipping selfies. So when you take selfies with your iOS device, on the front-facing camera, you'll notice that you'll see things in one way, and when you take the picture, for example, it appears the other way. So now you can see the hand is on the right side when it was on the left side prior to this. This is just how most cameras work, but if you do want to configure this a little bit and flip it back, you can do so. Open your Photos app, find the photo you want. So we got this one right here. You can see I'm kind of looking at this way. If you want to flip it, just tap the edit option at the top here. You have the adjustment settings. It's the little diamond here. If you tap on it, it'll bring this up. You can flip this around just by tapping on the first option in the top left. It'll flip it to the other way. You can also rotate and all kinds of features here. So this is available here, and it actually works with videos as well. So if you take videos and you want them flipped, edit the video, flip it right here, and you're good to go. Now, because the iPhone SE is using a home button, there is a chance that it could break. That's one of the reasons why they've gone away from these button iPhones. But there is an option to create a digital button in case this happens, or if you just like using gestures rather than the button, open your settings application once again here. This time we're going to find the accessibility options here. And we're going to tap on touch here, And the first option is assistive touch. So we're going to tap there and we're going to enable it. As soon as you enable it, it's going to create this digital button that you can move around the screen. And when you tap on it, you're going to see options. And you can access these options just by tapping on each. The main one that people use is the home button. So when you tap on the home button, it brings you back home. And you can move this, as I said, all around. You have other options you can play with in here. There's also full configurations that you can use while you're in the settings here. So if you want to have a single tap, double tap, create even gestures so that you can maybe even make it scroll while you're swiping down, it'll continuously scroll. There's a lot to this. You can check my channel for some videos on assistive touch, but if you want to add this to your system, just enable it right here. Now, while using the camera app, mainly in the video section here, you'll notice at the top we see HD 30. That means we're shooting at 1080p at 30 frames per second. If we tap on HD, we can set it to 4K, and we can even configure 30 and 24 frames per second, and in the HD options, 30 and even 60 frames per second if you want to configure how you're shooting video. Now, tying in with video here, if we move over to the photo section, if you want to take a video while you have the photos open here, you can just hold your finger on the shutter option and just swipe it to the right, let go, it'll start taking videos. While in video, you can tap this icon here to take a quick photo as well, and you just stop the video like normal. So that's called quick take, and you can utilize it in the photo section. Now, the iPhone SE is wireless charging capable, meaning any kind of QI chargers like this one here, or even the flat chargers will work. You just place your phone down on top. But to take this to a whole new level, I've got this right here. This is a wireless charger, completely wireless, and I can put my phone on top. You'll see that it's charging up top, so that it actually is 100% wireless. This is actually a little power bank that has a charge in it, and I can take this anywhere I go and then place my phone on top for true wireless charging. Now, this particular brand here, I can't really find it, so I'll link you to some in the description by Anker, Samsung, and other good companies as well. If you want to take advantage of wireless charging in this true wireless sense, you can take your charger anywhere you go, place your phone down on it, and charge completely wireless. Now, the iPhone SE is equipped with iOS 13, so you can take advantage of some cool features, one of which I like is dark mode. So in the settings application, again, we're going to this time select display and brightness, and you can see right at the top we're set to light mode, but if we turn this to dark mode, different applications, settings, and even the background is going to be a little bit darker and give you that cooler feel. I like it a lot, especially with this red and this background. It fits really well. It's totally up to you and your preference. You can always switch back. And while in the display and brightness section here, you'll also see an option for night shift. This is a cool feature. It's really good for your eyes, especially if you use your phone at night for bed. Smartphones and any kind of screens, they give off light, and it's like a cooler light or a blue light, and that's actually what's not good for us to be looking at, especially when we're trying to go to bed. So you can turn on night shift here, and you can set it to have a schedule manually. So if I just turn it on manually, it's going to make it a little bit warmer. I hope the camera picked it up, and you can utilize that as well. You also have the ability to use it from the control center here. So if you hold on the brightness, you can see night shift is on. If I turn it off, the screen goes back to its cooler color. The more warm, almost orangey feel that it gives you with night shift on is supposedly better for your eyes, especially at night. Now, anytime you're typing with your iPhone, so for example, we've got the Notes app open here, you can type normally just by tapping on the keypad. You can also tap on this little face here, and it'll bring up your emojis. Very simple, very obvious stuff here. But you can actually use your finger and do swipe gestures. For example, if I wanted to say hello, I could just swipe across, and it'll write that for you. So if you're coming from an Android or a device that utilizes swipe gestures, or you want to just take advantage of a new way of typing, just swipe your finger across to type the word and it'll type it for you. A lot of people find this faster and more convenient, especially with one-handed use. Being able to move around is very nice. Now, while you have your iPhone, you have Safari open, you might have a whole bunch of different tabs open as well. Closing them all individually or having them all open for a long time might not be what you want. It's also not the best thing to do, especially if you're logged into different applications. So if you open the settings application here and then scroll down to the Safari section, tap on Safari, you can actually have the tabs close manually. Right here where it says close tab, if we tab on it, it's set to manually, or it'll automatically close after 1 day, after 1 week, or after 1 month. So this way you don't have to go through the maybe 50, 60, or like myself where I've got so many of these tabs open. You don't have to manually close them. They'll all close after a certain period of time, saving you time. And also, if you forget to close something you didn't want anyone to see, it'll close automatically. Now the iPhone SE does support fast charge, and this means you can utilize fast charging bricks like this one here, or you can use your iPad charging brick, which is larger as well, and it'll help you charge your iPhone a little bit faster. Keep in mind, if you use fast charge, it is said that it could deteriorate the battery a little bit quicker, so again, that ties in with the optimization of your battery life. So if you want to keep it stronger longer, fast charge is probably not the best thing to do, but it is available with the iPhone SE. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, found these tips and tricks helpful. If you have some of your own that I didn't cover here, leave them in the comments below. It helps everybody else out. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm always happy to help, and I try to respond to every comment that comes my way. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notification box to be notified when I post new videos, and as always, I will see you in the next one.